Jeesus oi ja minu päeva, Jeesus oi ja minu päeva, oi ja minu lauluõrnal, oi ja minu lauluõrnal, sada oma rõõmu hingal, sada oma rõõmu hingal, oi ja minu lauluõrnal, oi ja minu lauluõrnal, sada oma rõõmu hingal, sada oma rõõmu hingal, kes nii vallatu.
The Republic of Estonia is a beautiful country located on the northeastern edge of Europe along the Baltic Sea, with Russia on its eastern border. About 60% of the nation's nearly 2 million inhabitants are native Estonians. More than 35% are from Russia and the former Soviet Union. The nation of Estonia was born out of World War I, but after only 2 short decades of independence, it was taken over by the Soviet Union. By 1940, Stalin declared it the 16th Republic of the USSR. Then came World War II. Estonia was crushed, and the Soviets forced out by the might of Hitler's panzer divisions. But by 1944, the Soviets had retaken Estonia from Germany and set about bringing the Estonian people under the absolute control of the communist regime. For nearly 5 decades, the people of Estonia struggled under Soviet domination. Personal and religious freedom existed in name only. The Soviets allowed people to attend church, but the secret police, the KGB, stood at the doors, taking down the names of all who entered. Some were arrested for questioning. Others simply disappeared. Then, in August 1991, came the fall of the Soviet Empire. The people of Estonia were at long last free.
In 1992, my wife Laurel and I, and our 2 sons Benjamin and David, traveled to Russia with Josh McDowell to hand out Bibles and Christian literature. As part of that missions trip, different groups were sent to various cities in Eastern Europe. Our team was sent to Tallinn, Estonia. A friend on the trip who was interested in radio noticed that there were only 3 radio stations on the FM dial in Estonia, and all of these were state-controlled. He suggested it would be wonderful if Christian radio could be introduced to that country, bringing the gospel to Estonians right in their homes and cars, because many of them were still afraid to attend regular church services. We prayed about it that morning and made arrangements to meet with one of the most influential pastors in the city, Pastor Rain, to ask what he thought the Christian community in Estonia really needed. My friend and I had agreed not to say anything to Pastor Rain about the radio idea. Instead, we prayed that if the Lord wanted Christian radio in Estonia, he would have Pastor Rain mention it. We went one step further and asked the Lord that if Pastor Rain said that Christian radio was a need, he would also mention that it could be broadcast from the 40-story steeple of the 750-year-old Olivesta Church in the capital city of Tallinn. This would be our confirmation that the Lord was in this. So the stage was set. Pastor Rain met with us at our hotel at around 10 p.m. and began telling us the needs of Estonia's Christian community. We need more workers, more literature, he said. Then he added, what we really need is a good Christian radio station. My friend and I knew the Lord was speaking to us. We looked at each other and then mentioned that a radio station was expensive and would require a very high transmission tower. To which Pastor Rain responded, why don't you put the antenna on the steeple of Olivesta Church? After all, the KGB has been broadcasting there for the past 50 years. Why not the gospel? It was obvious to us that the Holy Spirit was sending his message loud and clear. We promised we'd do everything we could to make this radio station a reality.